The Soviet Union's oppressive system subjected hundreds of thousands of men, women, and even children to the notorious forced labor camps known as the gulags. Under the Gulag system, an estimated 1.7 million people met their demise due to the harshest of conditions, brutal beatings from guards or fellow prisoners, and the immense toll it took on the people of the Soviet Union. The term, Gulag, originated from the acronym of the administrative body responsible for overseeing the Soviet prison system, the Glavnoye Upravleniye Lagerey, established in 1934. Over time, Gulag became synonymous with the entire oppressive system, signifying one of the world's worst prison systems. Forced labor camps were not new to Russia or the Soviet Union. Even during the Tsarist era, work camps were utilized to exile individuals considered undesirable, including future Soviet leaders like Lenin, Stalin, and Trotsky. The remote regions of Siberia and the Russian Far East served as perfect locations to exile those deemed unwanted, earning a reputation as places of punishment. The roots of the Soviet gulags can be traced back to the Russian Civil War when the Bolsheviks operated political prisons for perceived threats to the new regime. Over time, forced labor became vital for the Soviet economy, with significant changes to the prison system following Stalin's rise to power in 1924. The process of collectivization and the development of heavy industry required a vast workforce, leading to the influx of prisoners. Particularly the kulaks, prosperous peasants labeled as capitalists and traders. The composition of prisoners in the gulags was diverse, ranging from political dissidents and out-of-favor regime members to individuals convicted of minor offenses and career criminals. Even criminals held a certain level of trust among the guards, leading to a complex hierarchy among the prisoners. Life within the gulags was harsh and often fatal. Long working hours with minimal equipment and protection from the elements characterized the prisoners' daily struggles. Food rations were meager, often contingent on the completion of assigned work tasks, resulting in widespread malnutrition. In camps located near forests, prisoners scavenged for additional food, resorting to eating rats to supplement their diets. Within the gulags, a pecking order emerged, with career criminals asserting influence over others. Violence, theft, and territorial disputes were common, making survival even more challenging for the prisoners. The prisoners' living conditions were deplorable. Cramped barracks provided little shelter from the freezing cold or scorching heat. Sanitation was virtually non-existent, leading to rampant disease and unsanitary conditions. Despite these horrendous circumstances, acts of camaraderie and resistance were not uncommon. Prisoners formed covert networks to support and protect each other. They shared meager rations, exchanged forbidden books, and whispered stories of hope and freedom. Political prisoners often suffered the harshest treatment. The Soviet regime viewed them as enemies of the state and subjected them to particularly grueling labor and severe punishments. Many intellectuals, artists, and writers were among the political prisoners, their creative spirits crushed under the weight of oppression. The gulags also housed a significant number of enemies of the people, a term used loosely to label anyone who posed a threat to the Soviet regime. These included former party members, military personnel, and even high-ranking officials. Loyalty was paramount in the Soviet Union, and perceived disloyalty was met with swift and brutal punishment. As the Soviet Union entered World War II, the gulags took on new significance. Prisoners were forced to contribute to the war effort, providing labor for crucial industries and military projects. The conditions worsened as resources became scarce, and prisoners faced even greater hardships. In 1956, Khrushchev's secret speech exposed Stalin's crimes and atrocities, including the horrors of the gulags. This revelation marked the beginning of the end for the forced labor camps. Over the years, the Soviet government gradually closed down the camps, releasing many prisoners and easing the harsh restrictions. In the decades following the Gulag's closure, survivors and their families sought acknowledgement and justice for the atrocities they endured. Memoirs, testimonies, and historical accounts shed light on the darkest chapters of Soviet history, ensuring that the memory of the gulags would not be forgotten. Today, the gulags serve as a haunting reminder of the extremes to which authoritarian regimes can go to maintain power and control. The suffering and sacrifice of those who endured the gulags stand as a testament to the indomitable spirit of the human soul, even in the face of unimaginable cruelty and oppression.